Morning. Today is Tuesday, August 21st, 2018. You're watching the Daily Mix TV by hillSTORY Marketing. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. So a major part of the president's infrastructure plan is being completed this week. Except I'm not actually talking about President Trump. I'm referring to President Dwight D. Eisenhower. A vision that began over 60 years ago is finally coming to fruition. A small gap in Interstate 95 between Pennsylvania and New Jersey is nearing completion and will be open to the public by September 24th. Now, again, remember, I've heard of construction delays, but 60 years is a little nuts. The delay was due to local lawmakers and landowners. Now, if you know anything about I-95, okay, it's the Eastern Seaboard's corridor of the Interstate Highway System. I-95 is home to a fifth of the nation's road miles and services 110 million people, or roughly one-third of this nation's population. The interstate facilitates 40% of the nation's gross domestic product. It is the last project to be funded by President Eisenhower's 1956 National Interstate and Defense Highways Act. So right about now, you're asking, what the hell does this have to do with business and marketing? It's actually very simple. Eisenhower was the supreme Allied commander in Europe during World War II. He saw how the Germans used the Autobahn, or their interstate system, or their infrastructure, how they used it to deploy supplies out to their troops and various holdings around Europe. He looked at it very closely from a logistics standpoint. Remember, in the military, especially during war theater, you have to look at what your logistics breakout is. You have to understand efficiency. You've got to understand how to keep costs down and how to deliver those supplies to the front lines as quickly, efficiently as possible. So when you think about when Eisenhower came back to the United States after the war, and what he looked at in terms of how to get things opening on the borders, how to open up the country more so that, you know, a company in New Jersey could distribute product out to California very easily. Well, that's what the interstate system was designed to do. It was also designed to open up tourism state to state in the U.S. So after 60 years, it's nice to see his vision finally coming true. J.P. Morgan saying funding to take Tesla private appears to not have been secured. They've told their clients it slashed its December price target for the company's shares by more than a third to $195. Tesla CEO Elon Musk, meanwhile, reportedly is preparing to meet with the Securities and Exchange Commission to discuss his tweets about taking the electric car maker private. He tweeted over this past weekend that changing his grueling work habits, detailed in an interview Friday with the New York Times, was not an option. The latest tweet came in response to one from Arianna Huffington, calling on the CEO to change his work habits. You know, here's the challenge I have with this. Elon Musk is a wild card. He comes out just like our president, unfortunately, and has this grandiose, incredibly rude, frankly poisonous pen in terms of how he deals with his tweets. So I really do hope that Elon gets it together, because I think Tesla's a good company. I think that he is a good showman. I think that a lot of the problems related to Tesla, quite frankly, are due to his behavior. So hopefully he takes a nap and can figure out how to get past this, because frankly, if he did lie, if he did claim in a public forum that he is going to take the company private and he's secured that funding already, well, the SEC can actually sanction him. They can actually send him to jail for fraud. So time will only tell, and we'll keep an eye on this one for you. Looks like Big and Tall just got a new name. That name, Shaquille O'Neal XLG. JCPenney's is expanding its partnership with the legendary basketball player Shaquille Shaq O'Neal in launching the all-new exclusive Big and Tall brand. Available in 350 stores and online on September 13th, the new brand will feature a curated selection of men's clothing and furnishings designed specifically with the Big and Tall customer in mind. It'll offer roughly 60 styles of men's suited separates, dress shirts, ties, and belts in a range of sizes. The clothing has been designed for comfort with cooling technology and stretch fabrics, as well as flex collars. O'Neal began his partnership with Penny's as the exclusive Big and Tall style ambassador back in March, and he's been featured throughout the company's Big and Tall marketing initiatives. they featured O'Neal in a variety of broadcast, print, digital, and social campaigns. So from a business perspective, this is a brilliant move, especially given the ever-expanding waistline and height of the American consumer and what's going on in terms of clothing in general. This is a very smart move for Penny's because it allows them to have access to a very specific demographic that, frankly, all the other retailers are ignoring. Congratulations, JCPenney's. Can't wait to see what happens with Shaq, because I got to work with him once. He's a great guy, very smart, incredibly savvy businessman. So can't wait to see what comes next. Fast casual Mediterranean operator Zoes Kitchen is being acquired in a deal that will create the nation's largest restaurant operator in the Mediterranean category. The 261-unit Zoes has entered into a definitive agreement to be acquired by privately held CAVA Group, operators of the fast-growing CAVA chain. The combined company will have about 327 restaurants in 24 states throughout the U.S. The deal was valued at approximately, now get this one, $300 million. That's a fairly sizable chunk for such a small transaction, but this is the fast casual space, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to monetize that kind of investment. CAVA, which also sells its chef-crafted dips and spreads in more than 250 Whole Foods around the country, operates 66 of their own restaurants. It expects to have 75 locations open by the end of this year, though I have a feeling that number's a little lofty in terms of their projections. The tech-savvy chain, which takes a data-driven approach to its operations, made Fast Company's the world's most innovative companies list this year. I love transactions like this because it's going to play up against both the strengths of CAVA from a data-driven approach and how they look at restaurants and how they look at their employees' performance and that kind of thing, and Zoes Kitchen in terms of the menu that they have, those kinds of things. Now, here's where it gets very interesting. The acquisition of Zoes Kitchen will be financed through a significant equity investment in CAVA led by Act 3 Holdings, the financial group created by Ron Shaich, who's founder, chairman, and former CEO of Panera Bread. Shaich will serve as chairman of the combined company, and Brett Schulman, who's the current CEO of CAVA, will serve as its chief executive. Quote, "As a close observer of the fast casual restaurant industry, I'm thrilled at the prospect of what CAVA and Zoes Kitchen can accomplish together. Together, these businesses will create the leading company in one of the most important categories in fast casual today, Mediterranean, with the capabilities to drive extraordinary customer satisfaction and powerful growth." I can't wait to see how this nets out. I'm sad and happy about this one, but the Eagles, their greatest hits 1971 to 1975, just became the best-selling album ever, edging out Michael Jackson's Thriller for the top spot after the Recording Industry Association of America updated its figures. The Eagles album is now considered 38 times platinum, while Thriller is 33 times. The RIAA, again, that's the Recording Industry Association of America, takes into consideration both sales and streaming via platforms like YouTube and Spotify. The Eagles' hit, though, Hotel California, is not on the album in question. It was recorded in 1977. Now, while I love the Eagles, and they have 3 major hits on that greatest hits album that everybody knows, they just don't have the same meaning for me as Michael did. And frankly, they didn't change the face of music or the way that we look at music forever. They're an incredible band. I'm a huge fan. I love the Eagles. But at the end of the day, they will never, ever beat, in my heart and in my mind, Michael Jackson, the king of pop. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the CEO of hillSTORY Marketing. I'm also the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mix TV. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow on Hump Day.